the volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day.
All right, as I said, we got a big show today. We got a lot of earnings to discuss. Don't forget, we have a jobs number at 8:30. Dennis and Joel may or may not have forgotten that fact until I reminded them. So we got jobs number, we got earnings. New guest on the show today, Jeff Warshaw. Actually, this is exciting. This might be our very first SPAC guest on Pre-Market Prep. He's the CEO of Virtuoso Acquisition. They are merging or acquiring Wejo. We're talking connected cars with Jeff Warshaw at 8:35. Let's bring Joel on here. Joel, good morning. How we doing? And when you get a moment, get those charts up on
I
the
will.
screen,
I will.
and we will start rolling here. Good morning, everyone in chat. How you doing? Dennis is here as well. He's lurking in the background. We'll get him on in a second as well. And I guess we'll just start with the charts. Joel, what's up?
It's no tangent Friday.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to follow the script accordingly.
Okay.
S&Ps are up 10 handles. 73 and a quarter, that was our all-time closing high. We spent a little time below that at 67.50. So there's your potential downside target if we do go down. On the upside, 87.50 is the high. Nothing up there because we've never been there before. Crude rebounding from yesterday's shellacking. That's up 89 cents at 79.72. Gold once again flirting with 1800, up $1.70 at 1795.20. Silver, that's just down a penny, 23.90. Bitcoin hanging out. It's still in the 60,000 handle. Wow, 4 lows in the same area. Let's keep an eye on 61K. That's up $85, 61,445. And Ethereum, that's down just a smidge. That's down $13.25. These are the futures at 45.02 and a quarter.
All right, so we got a busy day. Dennis also is dealing with some sick kids, so he may be in and out, but he is here, I promise. And when he comes back, we'll bring him on here. So Joel, oh man, I don't even know where to start here. We can start. Let's start with what I think is the news of the day, which is probably this Pfizer headline.
It's got to be. It's got to be Pfizer.
Reminder that we got the news like a month ago now from Merck. Merck has that COVID pill that they said if you take it within a couple of days of having symptoms, you could reduce your hospitalization by 50%. That was the number, 50% from Merck. This morning, Pfizer came out and said, yeah, we have a pill too, and our pill reduces hospitalization by 89%. They did a study, and of the 600 trial participants who received the pill in combination, who received the pill within 5 days of symptoms, of those 607 people,
wow.
6 of them went to the hospital. Nobody died of the 607. So a big number here, a big drug coming out today here for Pfizer. They say they intend to submit for approval as soon as possible. This is I'm going to not butcher this. This is a protease inhibitor. It's actually a drug that was used for HIV treatments, as I've been reading in the last hour or so. And Pfizer, though, Joel, blasting off today.
Taking off. It's antivitamins, I guess, and HIV meds. I mean, we talked before about like the Tamiflu of COVID, and that's what they came up with. The news came out, good for the market, good for Pfizer. Man, this thing has been volatile lately, really moving off earnings, gave it back the last couple days. I'll give you that pre-market high. I think that would be a nice juicy target on the upside. That comes in at 49.40, I believe, was the pre-market high, and that's a big move for Pfizer, but it's trading a lot of volume. It's holding up. So back near all-time highs. Actually, that all-time high is 49.60. there's got to be some paper stacked at 50, right? Because you had a high at 50.05 on August 24th. So I don't know. What's been happening with these stocks is they're getting the pops and they've had a hard time holding the games. Pfizer up $5 is just an unbelievable move.
History doesn't repeat itself, but it sometimes rhymes, and it rhymes big time here. We saw all of these stocks, Regeneron, Moderna, Novavax, get merked back at the end of September. Today, they're getting Pfizered. It is the exact same headline, the exact same thing, different company. And we're seeing the exact same results that we saw after they got merked. And Regeneron down 50 points on this Pfizer news. We got Moderna down 25 points on this Pfizer news. We had Novavax, which was trading significantly higher on its earnings report from last night, trading now, reversing everything, Joel. We were up into the 190s. We were reversing massively. We were over 25 points off the after hours high, now down 14 from the close. This is an amazing, this is good. Obviously, these pills, good for us, good for people, good for the world, and not so good if you have other therapies for COVID or if you're making vaccines. So we're seeing the vaccine makers getting hammered. Even poor BNTX, which was teamed up with Pfizer on the last one. It makes complete sense because they're not teamed up on this one. So obviously, they got the vaccine, but Pfizer's doing its own thing on the drug. So BNTX getting smacked hard here, down 8% on this news as well. Pfizer up 11%. The play was to sell into this strength and Merck, and it worked. I would say the same thing. I own Pfizer in the long-term account. I would say this is a windfall, and if you're long it overnight, it's a gift, and I think you're going to struggle to get over 50. So I don't think we're going 52, 55, 60 and blasting off because we have complete precedence here. Actually completely talking against my book. I think I'm the only person that does it on the street. Joel does it too with Peloton, which we'll get to in a second. But Pfizer here up 5 is a big move for this. When we saw Merck getting that lift, it was short-lived. It eventually did come back and make new hires, but you can see even Merck getting hit because they have the competing drug. So moral of the story is with the drug stocks, you got to sell your peanuts while the circus is in town because these things do not stay hot. They don't seem to stay hot at all. Regeneron, I'll give myself the pat on the back.
You did good job yesterday
because I sold my Regeneron, and I obviously talked about it and two days ago on the show saying I think it's just come too far too fast and I'm going to get a chance to get it back cheaper. Well, lo and behold, you're getting that chance today. Will I reload Regeneron? I may actually reload it if we get down to the 580 area. That's probably be a better buy than obviously my 630 or 640 original purchase. So sometimes when you make a bad purchase, the market gives you your money back. Sometimes you got to sell it and then reload at a lower price. So yeah. I'll pat myself on the back on Regeneron, then I'll kick myself in the ass for Penn.
Okay.
Wait, the question though, do you do it at the same time? How does that work?
I don't know how that works.
All right.
It's hard to do that. The pat on the back's pretty good. The kick in the ass, like kicking myself in the butt, it's not as easy. So, especially when I'm sitting on a chair.
I'm just trying to figure out how that would work. I'm not quite able to do that.
Anyways, this is the story of this market. It's big winners and big losers every single day. It's the market with no memory, for one thing. I mean, they loved Merck yesterday. Oh, Merck, we love Merck making new high. Now we hate it. Pfizer, computer. Oh, I didn't see that one coming. Holy, this market with no memory. And Merck down 9% on this is a buying opportunity. I'm long Merck. And okay, yesterday was a selling opportunity. Today is a buying opportunity. Just like that. Boom, 8 points off Merck. Low 80s. Yes, it's got the competing drug. Maybe they continue to smack these things around because this is the market where the weak get weaker and the strong get stronger, at least for a few days. But I think you've got a buying opportunity in Merck and Regeneron here. I probably will reload my Regeneron at some point in time. Am I going to try to catch the falling knife, which is exactly what you're doing when the stocks are in free fall here in the pre-market? I've been hurt a lot of times like that. Sometimes I still do it because I can't help myself. But the play is probably let the dust settle and then wait till it stops going down.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel like that 580, I see, there's a low. That's where it really, it had momentum going, and then it got over that 580 and blasted and filled the gap. So it gave it back. We'll see 580. Let's see, let the dust settle on this one. Who knows if they pull out something that's 95%. Efficient. So, but overall, good news.
There's another one coming next week, Joel. Probably.
Yeah.
So when you get the windfall here on Pfizer, Joel, let's just talk Pfizer for a second here. How many times does Pfizer go up 11% on a drug? Pfizer has new drugs. This isn't a small little company. This is one of the
A
biggest drug
huge
makers in the
company.
world.
Yep.
Pfizer gets a positive trial on a drug if it's not, obviously in some cases, not Pfizer, but Alzheimer's or something. But on normal drugs, they pop like 1%, 2%, 11%. Come on, this is
Yeah.
circus. Is like the elephants are sticking the balls in the air here. Like
And they
they're
got their
balancing.
back,
They're-
their what do you call them? Their legs on the back of the other ones, and they're twirling the ball around. I
I
mean,
almost want to sell my long-term Pfizer just to rebuy it, but the problem is I don't want to pay the tax. I'm in from $13, and I don't want to realize a huge capital gain. But maybe the idea would be to buy some puts, or maybe I don't know. I'm
Dennis,
just looking at
Dennis,
it from this
can I
perspective, but
interest
completely
you?
talking against my book here.
Can I interest you in several other companies that also have protease inhibitor technology
Sure.
drugs? Because
Sure.
that's the underlying technology here for the drug, right? AbbVie has a protease inhibitor. GlaxoSmithKline, GSK. And actually, if you look at this morning, I know they're all down now, but they weren't down a half hour ago.
Well, AbbVie and GSK aren't down at all, and that's for the simple reason is that they don't have COVID trucks.
Well, not yet is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so they could get
Okay.
So Pfizer has the potential, is what you're saying, to get Glaxoed like in a few weeks. If Glaxo comes
If
over.
Merck just got Pfizered, then Pfizer
There's
could
going to
get
be a
Glaxo.
trend here.
Yeah.
And the moves are going to be less. They won't keep slamming them. I think the move is overdone on. So I'm going to say this. I think the moves are overdone on all of these stocks today.
Okay.
All of them.
All right.
I think the Pfizer shouldn't be up this much. I think the Merck shouldn't be down this much. I think the Regeneron shouldn't be down this much. We already hit all this stuff on it. Now you're getting the second shot. So
Moderna,
yes, I would like to
poor
reload my
Moderna.
Regeneron.
And okay, wait. Also, GSK I mentioned. Bristol Myers was the third one. Bristol Myers, GSK, AbbVie. Those are the three companies that have protease inhibitor drugs.
Are they working
already.
on pills? COVID pills? Do we know
I don't
that?
know. I'm just saying.
I didn't know Pfizer was working on a COVID pill.
I don't think anyone knew.
They hide this stuff.
No, I don't know if those companies have trials or no. I don't know. I'm just saying they have the same technology that the Pfizer drug. They have drugs that are approved that do kind of the same thing as what the, the underlying thing as what the Pfizer drug does. So,
very interesting. It's the market of wicked moves. This is the market of wicked individual moves. The SPY, they're like, oh, it just grinds higher, kind of boring. It's you lift up, and look under the hood. There is wicked moves all over the place every single day. Today in the drug sector, wicked moves all over the place. You can look, there's a company that's going to report it's going to be up 20%. There'll be another company, well, I can't buy them all because SPY doesn't want to go anywhere. So they got to sell something else off 20%. Yesterday's victim was Penn. Today's victim is going to be Peloton. So, I mean, this market is just the market of wicked moves right now. Wicked, wicked, wicked.
Yeah, we can go to that Peloton here, and this was a tough one. So remember that they had previously lowered their guidance and lowered their pricing back in August.
Yeah, the tell.
And well, in hindsight, 2020, yes, it was a tell. So here's what the numbers were from Peloton yesterday. The Q1 earnings per share, they lost $1.25 per share. Street was looking for a loss of $1.07, so they missed more than expected. Sales $805 versus $810 million. Small bits, but that's not what we care about. We care more about the forward-looking stuff. The guidance, the Q2 sales guidance came in below estimates. The fiscal year sales guidance came in below estimates. In terms of subscriber growth, this was the first quarter that their subscriber growth did not grow at least 10%. I think maybe ever. Their subscriber growth had previously increased at least 20% every single quarter for the last 8 quarters. And their subscriber growth only increased 10% in the most recent quarter. They did say that they are well positioned for the holiday season. They have a lot of inventory. Maybe that's because they're not selling anything. But yes, it was a really tough report for Peloton. This is going to be a doozy.
It's going to be a doozy. I mean, you got to start asking your question now to Peloton, and I can ask it to Joel, and we could ask who could then ask it to Lisa. I mean, is this have the possibility to give back the entire COVID run? And we were $25. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Let Joel
I've
talk.
changed. I've changed my rating on the stock.
Okay.
It's to SMTC.
What is that?
Shaking my.
Now, send me the certificates.
Send me the certificates. You think it's
Yeah.
going to zero?
Oh no! Oh
Somebody
gosh!
said that on CNBC. There's Grosso that said that last night on CNBC. I don't think that is the case.
I don't.
You still own it, right, Joel?
Yeah,
You
still own it.
You can't sell it. He's wanted to sell-
I've tried so many times
Yeah.
to do this, and
He's not
you
allowed.
know,
It's his wife's stock. And she
yeah.
won't let
So
him sell it.
she could take the credit for some of the good ones, and she could take some of the credit for the bad ones. We've talked about it a half dozen times. It's not a big position. It's a much
Well,
smaller
one
position
now.
today. It's a
It's
much
one
smaller
now.
today. I think I'm still up on it. I don't want to look, but yeah, what can I say? I mean, it's done. I mean, the the pandemic, this news is not helping it anymore. I'll just give you the pre-market low. Pre-market low is 56.80. We're $3 off that. I'll hope it holds, and if it ever gets back to fill the gap here at $86, 85.75, maybe I'll another go around. But still have it. Not happy with it.
Here's my take. We are not to say that Peloton is never going to come back. It very well could come back.
could.
But if it does, it is going to take a long time. We're talking about
bag holders everywhere.
We're talking about a
They need another
several year.
pandemic.
We're talking about a several year story here, right? It's harder to go up than it is to go down like this, right?
Oh,
I mean,
infinitely harder.
So stocks they can come back. They do very very often, but it's not going to be by next summer. It's not going to be by next fall. It's gonna take a while. So just know that if you're holding the bag here, in any of these stay-at-home plays, right? In Zoom and
I mean, in our last discussion, I tried to go into like the valuations and PE and growth and expectations, and it didn't matter. So
I want to know what Joel is feeling right now. Is he feeling vindication? Because he's actually this is a normal situation.
He's right.
Joel has been talking against this stock forever. He's been trying to pitch. So if you the backstory here is Joel and his wife bought Peloton back at the perfect time, back in like April or May of 2020, and the stocks went up. And he has been trying, but it's Lisa's stock on this one, I guess, and which is his wife, and so she's got the final say on it. And he's been trying to get her to sell it, trying to get her to sell it. And, obviously not listening, which, it's her choice. She makes a lot of good choices. Lisa's been a great trader for a long time. She made a lot of good
because we don't sell.
Well, you don't sell.
I mean, so you're going to get caught holding the bag. And the thing about this one is that, we've got some big winners, from the long term, for holding it forever.
Yeah,
but this was one where, we were kind of in a crazy stock. Yeah, it got stupid. And
like GameStop. You got her to sell GameStop at the high, which is unbelievable.
Yeah,
but
I should have tried that.
The circus was in town in Peloton. It was in town last, January, and all of these stay-at-home plays. Stay-at-home trade is just absolutely massacred across the board. And if I was long Zoom right now, I would be looking at this Peloton chart and saying, and I know Kathy loads it up every day, but if I was Kathy, I'd be like, because you know what? There is just an epic pile of competition coming for Zoom. Can Zoom maybe Zoom can be the Google. Maybe they can reinvent themselves and, get away and, do a whole bunch of different things. But right now, they're a streaming platform, which, we've moved away from them because there's superior ones out there. Yes, it's a verb. That's why I use the Google analogy, because you Google it, let's Zoom, let's Google it, which is amazing. Company has done amazing things. It's nosebleed valuations, and it's a stay-at-home play. And Zoom is down $5 here only on this Peloton, which I'm absolutely shocked at. I cannot believe they're not hammering Zoom more on this, because if I was long Zoom, I would be hammering the bid. So, but down 31%, is it overdone on Peloton? I don't know if I can even say that, because you're at this point where you still look, it's still got a $20 billion valuation. So, it's it's obviously a great company. They've done a lot of great things, but when you're comparing valuations across the board, and we did this exercise, and it's not. Let's be honest, it's not Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is killing it now. That pair the opposite way would have been really good, but Planet Fitness market cap is $7 billion. Would you rather own Planet Fitness or Peloton? Because right now you're paying almost 3 times as much for Peloton than you are as Planet Fitness. So I don't know. Like, I don't know if everybody's staying at home and riding their Pelotons anymore. So I can't even justify the valuation here at $59.
I know it's tough. I know.
So I'd like to say, oh, it's cheap, but it's not cheap. And if the earnings actually start going down, then there's major problems here. So you got a $7 billion, one of the biggest gyms across the U.S., if not the biggest, with a $7 billion market cap, and then you got the stay-at-home bike maker with a $20 billion market cap still, or 19. It's still expensive. So
Oh, you know what you're gonna
I
have
don't know.
now? You know what you're gonna have now too? And I won't be able to convince her to sell on this. Now that all these analysts are gonna come out. What do we have? We had
for sure.
yeah, they
They're all
lowered
buys and they all gotta play catch
maintain
up.
their buy, maintain their outperform, right? Oh, they did that today, but they lowered their price target. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for lowering the price
For
target.
downgrades today.
Yeah. So
Let's
and
call
there's
these analysts. Okay, thank you so much. Exane, Truist, Stifel, and Telsey
yes.
all downgrading the stock today after it's down 30%.
Thank you.
so much for that. Their price target's
70.
gone from 130 to 68, 120 to 70. We better lower our price targets because they don't look very good there. So, we'll just do this here and then we
And-
won't look as bad.
You know what the perfect selling opportunity was? And I can almost remember the date on the chart. Oh, right here. Dennis, you called the rally in this one.
Which one?
I could nail the date. Was September 9th. Someone came out. I know I can go into Pro here and find it on it was the third. No, it wasn't. I remember there was someone
What
came
stock?
out.
On
Peloton. They
Peloton.
came out and you
Oh.
said, when they decided to sell clothes. When
Yeah,
what
I
was
thought
that news?
It was oversold at that point, and it had a wicked little
It
rally.
did.
It was
That-
it was
Around
September 9th,
20%.
Joel. It was
September 9th. Yep. And
Yeah.
Dennis said, I think this has got some legs. And I'm thinking, they're selling clothes now? Like, what the hell are they doing? They're
Yeah.
diversifying into clothes. I mean, who wants that little
And it
symbol
rallied
on their
big
clothes?
time
It
off
did.
that.
And
Like,
I
it
was
rallied
like,
20
oh,
bucks off that. That
I
was
know.
such a gift.
I know. Well, it's after the fact, Jack. I own it. Send me the certificates. SMTC.
You're
That's-
right, though. What's more important, to make money or to be right, Joel?
Wait,
I don't know.
do you want to see all the
Wow, look at
analysts?
Pfizer
you wanna
up
see the-
560. Holy
These are the
mackerel.
analysts
That
this
50 is
morning.
huge on Pfizer.
These are the analysts this morning in Peloton here. So you
Thank
see
you very much.
you see 11.5 right there at the top, right? All the top 8 here, all from this morning. So
Tough job. What a tough job, man. You have to do that. You know, going in to report. Oh, my Lord. I mean, and there's probably some more to do it too, right?
yes, yes,
Anyways, but
yes.
okay.
You-
Can
you
we
know what I'll
move
say, though?
on? Can we
Okay,
can,
yeah,
can we
we
move
can
on?
move
Well,
on.
let's talk Penn just in here because we're going to
Fine.
do jobs number in 5 minutes, and obviously we have some time before that next thing. I'm following the schedule here, the agenda.
Okay.
So as much as you got Peloton today, Joel, I got penned yesterday, and I didn't get penned. I got Portnoy. So I've talked about my Penn position. I just bought it back like a couple weeks ago because I wanted to own the stock back, and what a mistake. And maybe I should have waited till after the earnings report. And you can say, "Oh, the earnings were disappointing," and they were. It would not have got hammered like this. This was the Business Insider piece on Portnoy. And if you're not following the story, that they accused him of what were they accusing? Like obviously, rough
It
sex,
was
basically.
It was going too far in sexual encounters. Is the gist of it basically?
I did read the piece. I read most of it, and I'm not going to comment on Portnoy on who's right, who's wrong. He said, she said. I watched Portnoy's rebuttal to it as well. I'll just say, when I bought Penn Gaming, the reason I chose Penn Gaming over DraftKings was Portnoy.
Because of Portnoy. Yep.
Portnoy. And I'm a fan of Portnoy. I've been a fan of Portnoy. You know that publicly on the show for a long time. I was betting on Dave Portnoy. I lost that bet yesterday. So there's a reason it's down that much, and it's because his image really got hurt. Whether he did it or not, I don't know. we can't comment on that. And
Yeah, it's
you know,
not
I tend to think that maybe this is just exaggerated. Maybe he didn't, but I don't know. I don't know Dave Portnoy on a personal level, so I don't know. There was a lot of accusations in there, and obviously, the girl saying stop, and I guess he didn't stop or whatever. So there's some accusations there. They hit when this news kind of hits. They hit the bid first, and they ask questions later.
You know
So
what?
I hope it comes out, and I like Dave Portnoy, like as I'm like watching him on Barstool Sports. I think he's funny. I think he's humorous. I think he's built a great business. I hope it's not true, but I don't know, and I can't comment on that. But I'll say that this wasn't bad earnings. This was because of Portnoy that it was down so much.
Well, and this is the last thing. I mean, the timing of all this stuff and everything, it's just they've been working on this for a long time, and it
8
comes
months
out
they
that
were
8 months they're working on it, and they come out in a day they miss on earnings. I mean,
Well, that's why I wondered if they had this story
Yeah.
and they actually released it because the stock was down. Like now we can really hammer it. I don't
Yep.
know if that's the case, but it's interesting timing. It was the day the Penn was already down on earnings, and then they come out with with the piece on Dave Portnoy, and then it really got hammered.
The
And-
timing,
and-
the
already
timing
was
is
a lot
the
of
timing
sellers
is
there.
interesting. The
one of
timing
the
is
three of
very-
us here has been tepid. I did have Penn for just a small trade on a technical thing, and I got in and I got out. But
Yeah.
one of the three of us has been a little cautious on these gambling stocks.
Yeah,
I'm not
Joel,
sure who it
Joel,
is.
Joel,
I'm not
good
sure who
call.
it is.
Cautious
Joel?
on Peloton, cautious on Penn, cautious on DraftKings. This is a good call. And I'm getting hit hard on it today. I haven't figured out if I want to sell into this bounce and just eat the loss because I bet on Dave. So here's when you're entering it for an investment, and this was put in the long-term account. You have your thesis. And if your thesis plays out and you're right, you'll make money. If your thesis doesn't play out, you'll not make money. In this case, I said to myself, I'm betting on Dave Portnoy. I couldn't have lost that bet worse with this Business Insider piece yesterday. So I don't know like where it goes from here. So this is like new territory for me.
New information.
Does Portnoy rebound from this? Does Barstool Sports rebound from this, or does it lose subscribers? There's going to be a certain portion of the population that's like, I don't like that guy now at all. And he's right. He was saying people don't like Dave Portnoy already. I mean, because he's very outspoken. I like him because I like sports. I like the way he talks about stuff. That he's very blunt. He says what he thinks. He makes me laugh on the pizza stuff and that. There's no secret that we've been Portnoy fans. But on this part of it, I didn't know anything about this stuff. So this is all new information. His image is tarnished. There's no doubt about it. Can he rebuild that image? Or is there, does this story build from here? I don't know the answers to those questions. And that's why I don't know if I should sell the stock or not. So I can eat the loss. I'll be down 14 points, I think, on it because it's trading up a little bit here this morning, which is just an epic loss for it. But I don't know what to do here.
What
I
I
honestly
said,
don't know
what
what
I
to
said
do.
yesterday afternoon as well is this is the risk that you take when you buy into a company because of the figurehead at the top, whether it's Elon Musk and Tesla, whether
True.
it's Dave Portnoy at Barstool and Penn,
True.
whether it's Papa John at Papa John's or Steve Wynn at Wynn Resorts.
Oh yeah.
Right. When the company has a CEO, in this case, is not a CEO, but someone at the top who is more than that. Right, he is more than just his job title. He's the figurehead, or she. It could be he or she. Who more than their job title. This is the risk that you take. That's it.
Yep, it's true. And I said on this show, I'm betting on Dave Portnoy.
Dennis,
and
go
I
wide
lost that
here.
bet
Dennis,
yesterday.
8:30. Dennis.
Oh my gosh.
He's got 50 seconds. He's got time.
All
Oh,
right,
he's got
I'm going
50
on
seconds.
He's
Okay.
got 50 seconds. He's got time. But we are
All
going to.
right, we got the 1 minute up. We never go to the 1 minute chart, but you have
Right.
to go to the 1 minute chart. We got October jobs report imminent.
Uh-huh.
Pre-market high 87.50. Nothing in there, folks. I can't give you resistance when there's absolutely no resistance in the market at all. So maybe a psychological level like 4,700. Maybe that's 14, 15 handles away. On the downside, mid-range is right at like 77.5. So if they don't like the number, they try and press it. We'll see what happens at 77.5. But that's the way it's looking here going into the jobs report. It's eminent. Spencer, you got any previews?
I do have some numbers. We're looking for 425,000 jobs added last month for your non-farm payrolls. We're looking for
10 seconds.
unemployment
9.
of 4.7%. That would be a slight decline from the 4.8% from September. Let's go here. 3, 2, and 1. It is 8:30. Where's our number?
Wow.
531,000 jobs added last month versus that 425,000 estimates. So a big beat. When's the last time we were able to say that? Way more jobs added last month than what the economy.
Very orderly here.
Very,
Very,
very
very
nice.
orderly. Very orderly
very
market.
nice.
Yep. No, I mean, whoever hit it just down to 83.50. They hit it quick. We just made a new high at 88. Basically, this is a nothing burger, folks. This market was at 85 right before this started, right? Let me look at where we were at 8:30. We ended the 8:30 bar at 85, and we are currently trading 85.75. So the market is digesting this information. There's been no knee-jerk reaction to the downside as of yet, but we're still early. 85. I mean, I don't even know if stocks are. I mean, Dennis could be back pretty soon. I don't even know if stocks are moving off this number. Any revisions, Spencer?
Oh, that's a good question. I didn't quite get there yet. I'm still working through putting this number into context here.
Okay.
So the unemployment, I don't know if I said that yet. The unemployment was 4.6%.
Nice.
That was below the 4.7% estimate and below the 4.8% number from the prior month. So unemployment continuing to go down. You like to see that. More jobs being added. You love to see that. Let's keep going on to this number, see what else we can find. It looks like most numbers. Yeah, very nice revision. There we go. So the non-farm payrolls figure for the month of September was revised higher.
Okay.
Remember, we had that big miss. It was 194,000 jobs. That was revised higher to 312. So look, it's a very hard job to get. It's basically just gigantic surveys, right? And sometimes they're way off the first time around. So the September number not as bad. Actually, you know what? Frankly, every month for the last seems like every month gets revised higher down the line. But big revision from September, big beat for October. You love to see that. And hey, what a surprise! We're still back and still at all-time highs. So very nice non-farm jobs.
Preston, yep, we just made a new high at 88 and a quarter, 88 and a half. So there was
pretty much a nothing burger, though.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Yep, you could tell.
Average hourly earnings in line with the estimate there increased 0.4% month over month and about 5%, well, 4.9% year over year. Labor force participation rate 61.7%, essentially in line there. All right.
Nothing very exciting.
Good number. Good number.
But Joel's right. This was a nothing burger here. I mean, we moved up 4 points on it, so I think we care about the inflation numbers more than the jobs numbers too.
I think maybe you're right.
I think so. So when you get the CPI number, it used to always just be jobs. That's all they cared about. Now it's inflation. The market just cares about the inflation numbers, and they'll find, okay, well, this gives a little indicators here, but they're not really moving much off it at all. So jobs, now I've officially put the inflation number as more important than the jobs number.
And you know what? We see this sometimes, like last spring, the jobs number was not as important as the weekly jobless claims. That was more important for a time, and then it went back to being not as important anymore. And then, but yes, I'm down with that, Dennis. CPI more important right now than the jobs number.
I think so.
Yep. And I don't think that this is all that unexpected. Did some of the unemployment benefits run out like in September?
Yeah.
Right? Didn't they? Yeah. So, people going back to, I mean, you still see, I mean, you drive around. I mean, some of the restaurants in this area are closing early. I mean, they're still looking for workers. So
they are.
They're out there. So
Yes.
good number for the market here. Off to a great start here on this Friday, trading up to 46.91. So barely budged. I mean, sometimes you get a little knee-jerk reaction. They knock it down a little bit, but like it was bid everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what this means for inflation moving forward, but
I,
yeah, the wages are,
I'm
the
not
song
sure if
remains the same.
I'm not sure if you saw the stat that I had up on the screen
It's
way
not a
earlier,
song.
but the S&P 500 has made 64 all-time highs this year. The all-time record, by the way, is 77, set in 95. We're on pace to come pretty darn close, if not break that record at this rate, at the rate we're going. It's been a pretty amazing year in that regard. And Ryan Dietrich said as much when he was on our show. Okay, our next guest will be here momentarily. In the meantime, let's do more stocks.
DraftKings.
A lot to get to here. You want to do DraftKings?
Because
Yeah,
we
sure.
talked Penn and it's
Sure,
tied up.
that makes sense. So the DraftKings earnings report was out this morning. They did, I mean, the stock is getting punished here. They guided. Let's see, their sales came in okay. I guess they guided light. They guided. It was in line with the guidance. Nothing too crazy on the numbers. I think we're just out of favor here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
It's just turned. With that being said, you have a huge level, $40. So nice support at $40 for DraftKings. I don't own DraftKings, and I obviously wish I didn't own Penn either at this point in time. Kathy is likely going to be buying the dip tonight. I'll just say that. That's how she rolls most of the time, unless she's in Zillow.
Not always. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I know the Zillow was the exception to the rule, but I tend to think that Kathy will probably load up this dip today. So think about that as well. I wouldn't be surprised if the dip gets bought here. I'll just say that.
I'm just going to say, the 40 is sticking out on the monthly there. You can see that. But, and this is the same thing with Penn. I wrote up Penn yesterday as the stock of the day. There's 3 monthly lows at $35. So I don't know if you're going there. That coincides with Penn. I believe at the exact same time, Penn made 3 monthly lows at 52. So if you're waiting, hold off on a monthly basis, though your levels for DraftKings and Penn. S&P's charging towards 4,700 will probably be there momentarily.
Wow, this market, you just cannot stop this market.
That's pretty wild, actually. I'm looking at that too, Joel. That's pretty wild. All right, hey, let's bring in our guest here. Jeff Warshaw is the CEO of Virtuoso Acquisition Corporation. That is, of course, his SPAC. They are buying a company called Wejo. We will talk about that and more. Let's get Jeff on the show. Jeff, good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
We are doing fantastic on this Friday. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
All right, thank you, Jeff. A long time friend of mine. Jeff, first of all, just tell us about this company. I spoke to you yesterday. You're extremely excited about it, but tell us your target, and the vote date is November 16th, correct?
That's right. So out of every company that we looked at, we did not see anything that resembled the opportunity for us and our shareholders to make multiples on our investment as Wejo. We just couldn't be more excited. Think it's a great team, an amazing, huge TAM. We think we've won the data set for the connected car. There's so many opportunities for this company to monetize, be it, obviously traffic and mapping, but insurance and advertising and vehicle diagnostics. There's just a massive market. They've signed up 18 OEMs, and it's just been terrific. We met these guys, and it was love at first sight. Richard is real visionary founder and CEO, and it's been every step along the way they've exceeded our expectations. So we're really excited.
To talk about the data sets and the information that is going to be coming from these sensors on vehicles. It's not, not just mapping and things like that.
Right.
Expand on that, please.
Sure. So the connected car has this essentially a built-in modem that streams constantly data at this point from around 150 sensors. Has everything from speed and how many people are in the car to what's on the radio to the moisture on the tires to diagnostic equipment on like how the fuel pump and the battery and all those many of the pieces of the engine are performing. And that data is extremely valuable. Of course, in this case, Wejo has in machine learned every lane of every highway in America already. But it also, for example, I've been in the media business for many years, and Nielsen does the ratings for audio. And I looked at this and said, Nielsen has in a city like New York has 5,000 people participating in the ratings. You get ratings once a week, and you know very little, just age and sex of the driver. In this case, we have, I think Wejo has 8% of the drivers in all of New York. So it's many, many times the sample size. You're getting data in real time. So for example, we'll know when somebody tunes out a song or tunes out a commercial or listens to a commercial and then go visits that store. When they visited and how many people are in the car, and the same thing with billboards. And that's only a very small percentage of the opportunity to monetize. Insurance companies, it's not just UBI. It's when a collision takes place within 12 centimeters, we know where the dents are. So it really can cut down on insurance fraud. Very, very valuable. Cuts down on how many towing trips have to be paid for and storage. For mapping in real time, we can see when there's by knowing how fast the car is going, knowing the moisture on the tires and the temperature outside, they can machine learn where black ice is, which is tremendously valuable to the municipality. So there's just so many ways this company has to monetize.
Is there additional cost to the cars? I mean, is this something that is going to have to be passed on to the consumer? And
no cost. Virtually all the cars that are being made now have this built in. It's literally pennies per month, and the OEM pays for it because that data is very valuable. When we think about things like EVs, right? The battery is really important. Well, this company now has the opportunity to see what's going on with the battery usage in a way that just hasn't been available. They're also very helpful where they should be putting charging stations. So this does not cost the consumer. They have extremely buttoned up privacy, opt-in. They are setting the standard for privacy. Wejo means We Journey, and their kind of motto is data for good. So this data will not be used for like law enforcement. It will be used only for things that are helpful to the driver. And there's a 300-page manual that agreement that has to be signed with the OEM regarding privacy in order for Wejo to participate.
What about competing with Tesla? Isn't Tesla have this market corner?
Oh, well, Tesla, yes. If you look at Tesla's market cap, probably $100 billion of their market cap is attributable to their data play. Tesla's we have more EVs connected than Tesla does. So in America. So yes, we think that Tesla has a big opportunity, but it's quite frankly dwarfed by the opportunity when you put in all these other OEMs. I mean, essentially, these cars are going to need to talk to each other. And BMW and Mercedes are not going to share information. So they need a neutral third party in the middle, particularly when autonomous comes. So these cars can talk to each other, tell each other where there's parking spots available. There needs to be a neutral third party, and Wejo is that neutral third party sitting in the middle of that ecosystem.
Jeff, I remember a few years ago, a lot was made about like the battle for the dashboard because it was like the last screen that people were guaranteed to be glued to. Does Wejo do anything with the dashboard at all? I'm just curious because I remember reading it's like Spotify versus Apple versus Pandora in the battle for your dashboard.
We're not a part of that battle. Okay. We know what's being played from the dash, and we take that information. We're not battling. You do not need to choose between Spotify or any of these. The OEM gets this data directly from the car and streams it to our cloud. And we provide, we anonymize it and homogenize it and ultimately monetize it in a way, and we share the revenue with the OEM. So they're highly incentivized for us to partner with them because we are able to do the work. And of course, the network effect is that the data becomes much more valuable when it doesn't just come from one OEM.
And then just with regards to like the SPAC process, you're the CEO of the SPAC. You're looking for a target, right? When you're in that process, surely Wejo is not the only revolutionary company that you saw. I'm sure you saw a lot of cool stuff, right? So like, what were you looking for? Yeah, obviously you're looking for the returns for investors, right? But in terms of the company, what were you looking for?
So when we did our SPAC, we said we wanted a company that we thought had a great management team, that had a large addressable market, that had proprietary, that was proprietary, that it wasn't just another company that said we could do things bigger, faster, stronger. So when we looked at lots of companies, and so one of my partners and board members is a guy named Sam Hendel. Sam is a long time investor, but him and his about 12 years ago, I think, him and his two of his buddies from Yale created a company called Dataminr, which is
I know them.
Right. So he's a co-founder of Dataminr, and they essentially did this with social media.
Yeah.
They raised money this year at a $4.1 billion cap. And one of his early investors in Dataminr was a guy in Germany that has obviously done quite well. And he called us up and said, we have a company that you need to look at. And that's how we found Wejo. So after we met them, we kind of zoomed to the top of the list. And, Richard and I spoke the same language. And we were able to make a deal with him. And let me also comment when we talk a few things I'd like to make sure that we differentiate ourselves from some of the other SPACs that are out there. First off, when we did extensive diligence, PE style diligence on Wejo. And then when we made our deal and we put our pipe together, Palantir came in and they did extensive diligence. So now you have the most sophisticated data company on the planet doing substantial diligence. They invested in the pipe. Microsoft, they had never made an investment in a SPAC before. They came in, did massive diligence, and they invested in the pipe. Sampo, massive Japanese insurance company, they invested in the pipe. GM invested in the pipe. So these are companies that did extreme amount of diligence alongside the diligence we did, really validating not only that this company was able to execute in real time, this amazing amount of data, processing that needs to be done, but that they had these deals with the OEMs and that they had a real sustainable business. So I can think of a SPAC that has this kind of growth and is that level of validation from such smart investors. Also, we made our deal and negotiated our merger price post bubble of the SPAC. So when you have other companies that came in and now, the valuation that we were able to get for our shareholders reflects the kind of adjustment in the market. So we think it's a very compelling valuation. If you look at our comp set, it's tremendously undervalued. These are companies that trade at 30 plus times revenue. We expect Wejo, their projections are to be $750 million in 2025. So you can do the math. We think it's really undervalued. They're executing really well. They have a unique data set that's long-term deals with their OEMs. Great management team. What could you possibly want?
So Jeff, what is the timeline here for you for the deal?
The deal is on the 16th is the meeting, and we expect to close soon after.
Okay.
And we think it's a fantastic opportunity. We couldn't be more excited.
All right. Yeah, I mean, that excitement's coming through. I can tell you that. I didn't know much, frankly, anything about Wejo before yesterday. And now you're getting me excited for a company that I just learned about. So, Jeff Warshaw, hey, Jeff, we appreciate you coming on the show today, really. He's the CEO of Virtuoso Acquisition Corporation, ticker VOSO, acquiring Wejo, Connected Cars. Actually, one question from the chat. I almost forgot about this. It was asked early on, right when you came on. What is your, or even Wejo's, position on the metaverse and their potential fit within that? Because it's kind of the same idea, right? Massive amounts of data.
Well, I mean, this is a very specific connected car play.
Okay.
And we're taking the data. I think if you want to go out to the next generation, the kind of fun stuff is autonomous vehicles. We'll reach a point like when next time Joel, 10 years from now, Joel's going to pull up to his restaurant in Detroit. He's going to get out of the car. The car's going to drive away. It's going to go pick up a quart of milk for him and pay for it. It's going to talk to the other cars. It's going to find a great parking space. And when Joel's ready, he can hit a button and the car will come pick him up and take him home. And that cannot happen unless you have a neutral third party sitting between the OEMs, and that's Wejo.
Thanks, Jeff.
That will not happen because Joel doesn't leave his house, unfortunately. But Jeff Orshaw, CEO of Virtuoso Acquisition. Jeff, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks very much.
We appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, yeah. The excitement is coming through. It's coming through the camera. I feel like coming through the screen. I dig it. So thanks a lot to Jeff for coming on today. Okay, we got 10 minutes. We got a lot to talk about still. Yeah. So do you want to talk about Pinterest or Uber or Square or Airbnb?
There's so many earnings.
Tell me something.
I can't wait. I'm actually exhausted from these last 2.5 weeks of earnings.
There's been
so many, and the moves are so wicked. And it's like, okay, well, I'm making big on this one, but I'm losing big on this one. Like somebody was sending me a congratulations text on your Qualcomm. I was like, oh yeah, that's fine and dandy. But what about Penn? I lost everything I made in Qualcomm. I lost more in Penn. So I mean, this earnings season, I got Lockheed Martin on the one, but then, I own another one. It's like I got a stock going up 20%, down 20% every day in this long-term portfolio. I guess that's what happens when you own all these stocks. But it has been a
don't look,
ride.
Dennis. Don't look.
Well, you try not to look, but then you do look, and you're like, and then I'm looking at the ones that are losing, maybe not the ones that are winning. I don't know. The bottom line doesn't seem to go change that much when you own that many stocks. I guess you're just the S&P, but. I mean, individual stock performance, obviously Penn Gaming, I'm like yesterday just shaking my head.
Let's just do Airbnb here. They just had their best quarter on record. Their EPS beat $1.22 versus 75-cent estimate.
Wow.
Their sales call it $2.25 billion versus $2.04 billion. They gave revenue guidance for this current quarter that was in line. Best quarter ever for the company.
Not surprised on this one. 193.40. You hit your $6 off that. A little resistance in 190, but see if you can take out that pre-market high. Just the fact that you're $6 off it makes you think there might be some sellers out there. A lot of people sitting on profits from the last 2 days because you were in the lower 170 handle. Just a quick update on Pfizer. I mean, it's getting over 49, but people are going whacking those bids.
Yeah,
so.
There's some long-term holders in there saying 10% on this overnight. Thank you very much. I take the money and run. I don't know. Part of me wants to take the money and run too.
Hey, Dennis, I got Joel's thoughts. I would love to get your thoughts though on Nvidia from yesterday.
Oh, it's just these wicked moves. It's exactly poster child of this market right now. You mentioned the metaverse. The metaverse. That was an analyst that mentioned it. Wasn't Wells? Who was it?
Yeah, it was Wells.
It was
Wells.
Wells, and they put the metaverse.
Yeah, 320 price target. They didn't mean today or yesterday.
Obviously, apparently, they tried to go straight there. I mean, we think these are 52-week price targets. Oh no, but investors get confused. They think that's a price target today, and they try to take it there. I mean, metaverse is just the new buzzword. Like Mitch was saying, you had blockchain, you had, COVID, and then now you've got the metaverse. Everything is, it was crypto for a while. Now it's the metaverse. You mentioned the metaverse. The algos are all over it. They're programmed in. Something says metaverse, and they're buying it. So. I mean, it was an absolutely ridiculous move. The stock is just moved ridiculously. I mean, I'm not going to short a rocket ship. I'll tell you that much. I actually was long it overnight because I figured it would just gap up again, and it did. I've already sold it. It's unbelievable the moves that you're seeing on individual stocks, and really nothing fundamental. Just a mention from an
momentum
metaverse.
Totally.
But that's nothing to do with the company. It's an opinion from an analyst. And, are they going to be a big thing in the metaverse? Sure. Is this just suddenly been, enlightened? Wells Fargo has just enlightened the whole entire world to this. This is a metaverse play. I mean, no, but the market, it's trading it like that. And we didn't think of NVIDIA as a metaverse play. What are you talking about. You know,
Chips.
obviously it's a metaverse play. So I don't know why yesterday they decided to buy it up 12% on and continuing to move up here. AMD benefiting from this, and
Sure
you know,
did.
obviously they're looking at Intel, and Intel's just the last. You know, we don't care about that one anymore. That's a value stock. We don't like PE stocks of 8. We like PE stocks of 80. So we're 1999 all over again here on a lot of stocks. How does it all end? I have no idea. I'm not chasing Nvidia up here, but I tell you, if you're in it, I don't know any reason to sell it right now. It's making new all-time highs.
Hey, we got 5 minutes left. Let's get some more likes if we can, and we'll do some more tickers in the next couple minutes. Let's give a little bit of love to Uber. Uber said on their call last night that they just had the best month in the history of their company. Uber's numbers are pretty good. Profitable for the first time. Revenue, EPS beat the estimate. Revenue beat the estimate. And hey, yeah, reopening trade, right, guys?
Yeah, well, what about the metaverse, though? This has nothing to do with the metaverse, so it's not that exciting. The new thing is metaverse, so I'm not excited about Uber. The report, whatever. It's in stocks in the middle of nowhere. I'll just say whatever on Uber.
It really moves around. I mean, this
It
thing
chops
is,
around.
yeah, it chops
Sure.
around a lot. Really, no, but I mean, if you go off the monthly here, maybe it got a little overdone when it got near 65. Maybe a little, oversold when it got here down to 40. Right, and now it's on the rebound. Pre-market high. We'll see if that comes into play today at 47. The monthlies are, if you want to hold out, the monthlies are not giving you anything until closer to 49 on the upper 48 handle. Sure doesn't feel like we're going to get there today, though.
All right, we can look at Square too. I'm looking at look at the
Earnings.
chart. Whoa, look at the chart the last few minutes.
at what
there.
it just
I know I
did.
saw that. I know they had earnings, but I didn't
know,
realize
look what it just did.
Yeah, look what it just did. The earnings was out last night. EPS, whatever, missed by 2 cents, but more or less in line. I mean,
It's
sales
exploding here
up
right
year over
now.
year. It's the same thing as Robinhood, right? They saw a slowdown in Bitcoin transaction revenue. Same thing, but what the heck just happened?
They must have said something in the conference. This was down $15. Just
Groupon,
like
wait. Groupon had a thing this morning where they said that they're going to allow local merchants to create campaigns from the Square. That's not it. That's not it. Something maybe is the call right now.
It's got to be right now. They must be saying something on the call because and obviously this is the problem doing the live show. News desk, yell at Brent. What's going on?
I'm yelling.
Because there's obvious news here. I mean, the stock literally 10 minutes ago was 236 down $10. Now it's up $5. They just had a 15-point rally in Square. The good ones get bought though on the weakness. So obviously loved stock. It's getting bought here right now. I'm trying to find out what just happened too.
Wow. After hours high, we did hit 54.26. And then you saw the beat down to 20-point beat down there. So anyone that bought it up there is thinking, wow, 252, 253, that's not too bad. But see if you could take out that pre-market high, 54.26. Just let me see if I see anything in the dailies. Just on the dailies, if you do go through that 54 and change, keep an eye on 55.40. That splits a couple highs from the beginning of the month, 55.54 and 55.22.
Yeah, the conference call was last night on Square, so it ain't that.
Somebody has said something somewhere. You don't usually see a 15-point rally on no news just after, 8 hours, or 8 trading hours after the company's reported. So somebody has said something somewhere.
They hit the Zoom,
weird.
Dennis. They finally hit the Zoom there.
Did they start hitting the Zoom?
Yeah.
Down another 8. I'm shocked that it was holding up that well. That was low-hanging fruit there.
I don't know if I want to look at Peloton.
Okay. Hey, I don't know if you guys saw this. I want to mention it. Kroger, guys, we have
Bitcoin.
No, Joel, that's what we thought. No.
What are you talking about?
We have it. It happened again. We have another fake Bitcoin press release. Remember when Walmart?
Really?
Remember when Walmart said they were taking Litecoin? Do you remember that?
What did they release?
Go ahead, tell them the story.
Remember a few months ago, Walmart, there was a press release. Walmart's accepting Litecoin. That was fake, but it was on the newswires as a PR.
Yeah.
It happened again this morning with Kroger. It was on their investor relations page, a press release. Kroger will begin accepting Bitcoin Cash, which is a fork from Bitcoin. It was on the IR page, but it was not real.
Murphy.
There is so much manipulation.
Like, what is going on?
There is so
Crazy.
they got that on. That was an actual press release. They actually got that on.
They got it on their page.
We got it on their page. But they've already come out and said
There's
it wasn't
so
real.
many hacks and so much, manipulation of this market, trying to manipulate the market. I mean, obviously, you got to go look if you're a regulator at, who's made big purchases of this over the line. It's a hard thing probably to track and figure out. So,
Can I read you a statement?
unbelievable.
Let me read you a statement that they sent to Benzinga. This is from Kroger PR. This morning, a press release was fraudulently issued claiming to be the Kroger company that falsely stated the organization will begin to accept Bitcoin Cash. This communication was fraudulent and is unfounded and should be disregarded. But it was on their IR page, which I don't even understand. Holy
Pretty
cow.
good hackers there.
Yeah.
Wow.
The hack, they put that on there to try. And then what did the stock do on it?
It popped.
Why?
before.
Why would you pick on Kroger on that? Like, whoever's doing the hack didn't pick the right company. Like, why pick on Kroger, a stock that has struggled to move? Like, it's not a big mover.
Because they probably got in there. They were able
Maybe
to.
they were able to get in there.
Yeah, they ended up
I
to
don't
crack the code. But
risk reward on
Yeah.
that. Hackers.
I don't know.
all right, I'm gonna hop off.
This world is just tough, man. Like, I know, like, we love the metaverse and we love all this virtual reality, but with the hacking and all this, I don't know if we're made for this new world, Joel. With everything's going to be in the metaverse. I guess we don't have to worry
Exactly.
about, really, if you think about it, and you're going to go live in your happy world in the metaverse. I guess you don't have to worry about your real world. So maybe this is the metaverse is the escape from your own depressing life. Is that what it is?
That's
Is
it.
that what it is?
That's
Spencer says,
that's the future.
Is this what it is? Just to escape from your own depressing life? I actually like my life. I don't want to escape.
So you don't
Joel,
want to.
you
You're
kinda like your life too,
anti-metaverse.
don't you?
Yeah, I love it. All right,
Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna
that's
hop
maybe
off.
why we don't like the metaverse. We don't want to escape from our own lives.
That you say that now, but you haven't seen the metaverse yet. It's gonna be
Metaverse
nuts.
is awesome.
I got
It's
Sean
like the
Udall is
drug
going to
stuff
join me
for the
today.
future.
Awesome.
Yep, Sean's going to be talking some hot stocks, the semis, what he likes and what he doesn't like. So we'll check in with you guys later on. Everyone have a great trading
All
day.
right. I just want to say, guys, hey, every day we got like between 4,000 and 8,000 people watching this show. If we could get some more likes,
I like
think-
the show.
I
I'm
think we should get some
290.
more-
I will say I was a 290th like today.
oh, just you? Just now? That was okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
bumped
there's
it
no
to
reason we
290.
shouldn't be at 500, 600, 700, 1,000 likes every day, right? So if you could be so kind, take a second out of your life, hit the like button. We really would. I mean, we put the show on for free. The likes help us with the YouTube algorithm. Why? I don't know. It's just the way it works. The more likes YouTube sees, the more it's gonna,
More it
boost
likes
your
us.
video in search. I don't know why it happens, but that's just the way it is. So, thank you for the 85 people, 100 people now. They just hit the like. We appreciate that. Please remember, all the information from our show is meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. Thanks to our guest today. Hey, look, our very first SPAC guest on the show, Jeff Warshaw.
Fun.
We appreciate him. And it's gonna be, hey, it's a Friday. It's sort of like the last hurrah of like the main heavy part of the earnings season. There's still going to be earnings next week, but this was definitely the peak. It is basically all downhill now in terms of earnings flow for the rest of the month here. And yeah, so coming up next, live trading with Benzinga. Dennis, have a great rest of your day, man. I know you're not as down as you think you are. You think you're down a lot, but you're probably not.
It's the Penn Gaming that's got me bummed out today. I mean, I maybe I just got to look, and obviously I'll have some companies that are probably going up, but that Penn move yesterday, I was just shaking my head. I was like, I bought back 2 weeks ago, like a week and a half ago. I was like, my timing couldn't have been worse. I was out of it. I was out safe. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I sold the thing like $82, $83. I was like, I want to rebuy because I don't want to miss the boat. I believe in Dave Portnoy. And then the attack on Portnoy. And I'm like, holy, that's bad timing on my part. But, I feel bad. Like, if like the whole Portnoy thing, like if he really didn't do it, I feel really bad for him. But maybe he did. I don't know. I can't say yes or no, I guess. I don't know who he said, she said the thing. But I watched the thing, like the response. I kind of believe him. So,
TBD on this could end up being like yesterday was the worst of it, but
Maybe.
this could also end up being just the beginning.
Well, the stock's rebounding a bit this morning here. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do in this situation. not often involved in or own a stock where one of the major figure pieces is now involved in a sex scandal.
You know what? I'm going to call it now. Dave Portnoy is going to launch a SPAC. It's going to happen.
I hope Dave Portnoy, I hope he can turn it around. I hope Barstool can turn around. I hope Penn can turn around, not only for my own portfolio, but because I kind of like the guy makes me laugh. So I hope he didn't do it. I'll just say that. I hope he didn't do it.
All right. Dennis, have a good rest of your day, man. Talk to you later. Live trading with Benzinga going live as soon as we're done here. Ryan, Zunaid, Mitch, maybe I'll pop in for a few just to say hi. Coming up next, this video will end and redirect straight to that. So stay tuned for that. Everyone, thanks for watching, and see you over there on our next show.